Warning, contains language and epicness. Hashtag spoilers.
I want somebody to scare me! Scare me! Yeah, I just feel like they'll die.
Fourth year in a row. There's... Hello everyone, I am fucking fuzzy. Hello everyone, this is MykeCheck'd 95 on another night of October Horrorfest. Now, don't cover the lens like you did the last time. I saw that in the last video you recorded. We have reviewed Shaun of the Dead. Who would like to go first?
Okay, so before we get into this, I want a little bit of backstory. I have a history with this movie. When I was a youngin', I went over to
Which
this
wasn't
lady's,
that long ago?
to this lady's and people's house basically, and I went to spend the night, and they had this movie playing, and this movie gave me nightmares for weeks. And then I watched it like later, like on in my life, like when I was 12 or 13, and I loved it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Originally, I thought it was an Adam Sandler movie. I was wrong.
Very wrong.
I was very wrong.
Very wrong.
I was very wrong. This movie is still one of my favorite movies of all time. No matter what, I find this movie to be hilarious, gory, and at some parts actually very like nice and like sensitive and emotional.
Touching?
Very touching. And so I don't know. I can't give this movie a low rating, but I can't give it a high rating either because there are flaws with it. But I will give it a nice rating of a 9 out of 10 because this movie is still one of my favorites, and I will not let it die.
I too have had a little history of this film, although I never got past probably the 10-minute mark because it traumatized me. And like I said before, I used to hate horror movies. Look at me now running a horror festival. There was a couple things that I was kind of like, the fuck? But I'll let them slide because it's a comedy film. Lighting change because I suck at lighting. Yeah, the shotgun shells on fire kind of pissed me off.
Yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck is this? I guess they kind of showed that when you turn, you don't exactly attack the ones you used to know before. I guess, I don't know. It seemed like I just don't know. This movie is just, it's good, but it's weird. Horror comedies usually, I don't know. This is Horrorfest. And I do try to put scary movies on here, which apparently this is the second year in a row, actually third year in a row that I've done very poorly because whoever I was with did not know how to pick good scary movies, Jesus. But this is a good film. I'm only gonna give it a 7.5 because it's not a bad film, it's just not a scary movie, but it will still get a 7.5 because I did enjoy the film.
I don't really have much to say about the movie. I've seen it. I've never actually watched it, but I've seen it like on like a copy or someone recommended it, and it's never really been on my bucket list because as like a zombie movie, I don't think it's that great. Probably about the best zombie part was when they were in the pub and that one guy like was getting his intestines and everything ripped apart. That was about the best part of like the zombiness of the movie, but it wasn't completely boring. It had its like sentimental parts whenever they were saying goodbye in the end to his good friend, or like his mom, and then the sincere part with his stepdad. That was pretty good. I'll give it a 5.5.
Tit. Alright.
Tip.
I've heard a lot of pretty good things about it. A lot of people, every time they're like, oh, have you seen Shaun of the Dead? I'm like, no. They're like, what? It wasn't horrible. I didn't really care about the characters, I think, as much as I was supposed to. The only one I really kind of cared about for maybe like a split second was the mom. But she was trying to hide it. Other than that, it was cheesy. I liked the little bit where I called out that they were gonna go back over just in zombie form. So that kind of summed up the movie. It was predictable and I cared for maybe 2 seconds and I was done. So I'll probably give it like a 6.4. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. 6.4.
Bonjour, and welcome to You Don't Know Spag, the time where I tell you facts you need to know, Spag facts. So we're gonna go through a couple of these facts, and they're just gonna be short, small ones that you might find interesting. Spag fact number 1. Quentin Tarantino dubbed Shaun of the Dead one of the top 20 films made since 1992. That's pretty rad. I find that amazing. Spag fact number 2. Nick Frost, aka Ed, allegedly kept his genitals shaved throughout the production to create a genuine need to scratch that the character demanded. Spag fact number 3, which is actually kind of well known, is that the first part, it's the first part of Simon Pegg's and Edgar Wright's Cornetto trilogy. The 2 other parts are Hot Fuzz and The World's End. The final Spag fact is that it took £4 million to make and grossed £30 million worldwide.
Well, coming up next for who all is staying, we'll be watching Fright Night, the 2011 edition, starring Colin Farrell and David Tennant. Let's see if this remake is good. This is honestly the 3rd vampire film we've watched this year, and nothing against vampire films, but thank God it's the last one.
So, Fright Night, the movie.
2011.
Yes, so yeah, technically this movie is a remake of a old movie. I don't remember when the old movie came out, but this one's a remake, and it was made by DreamWorks. Which, I mean, honestly, that just shows you it's going to be a comedy. This movie started out as a movie I was not interested in this movie at all. Like we watched the trailer, I was not interested in it, kind of. And then like the first half of the movie, I was like, oh my god, seriously? And then the second half happened after the goddamn car chase, and I'm like, wow, there we go. That's pretty nifty. And that's mainly just because that's the point when David Tennant popped up. No lie, I got a gay hard-on for that guy. Oh my god, I love David Tennant.
Honestly, David Tennant and David Tennant, nothing against Anton, but I feel like David Tennant and Colin Farrell were the only 2 people that were like making sure this movie was still standing. Anton was doing a good job by himself, but
yeah,
it's just David and
I think it's because they're the biggest draws for this movie. They're like the ones that like are bringing in the audience members.
One thing I noticed was that the first half was
oh yeah,
like the pacing on the first half was just rushed to hell, and
I feel like that's just because they felt like the first half of this movie they were like, oh shit, we got to keep this like a 2-hour time slot or else we're gonna start losing people's interests, and so they were like, how do we pack all this shit into 2-hour time slots? So they just made like the first half, they're like, people know how vampires are, they know what they're gonna do, and so they just fucking packaged it all up in like a 30-minute segment.
It was just paced weird. That was like the biggest problem I had with it was fast and slow and sped up and slow and
it starts off like the movie with like a person dying and you're like, oh shit, what's this fella's story? And then it gets after the title and then it's like, oh shit, his story is that he's a kid in high school. And something that I thought would have been better is if they were like, okay, cool, this kid's dead, and so people are worried, and then other people start his appearance like, oh shit, maybe we should investigate. No, fucking they immediately start investigating it, and it leaves time to process what the fucking hell's going on. I will say this though, I wasn't a big fan of the visual effects. Mainly because throughout the entire movie, I kept looking at it, I'm like, wow, this is the same visual effects as the TV show Grimm.
When you first saw Jerry, I'm gonna start calling him by his movie name,
Jerry.
As in his vampire form, he looked like a half werewolf. Kinda did like when he was like in vampire form, and he kind of morphed back and they showed it.
The
it looked really cool.
It was like really cool because it showed all like the intricateness of it, like how his teeth had to go back into place, and it was really sick and all. But I feel like what they did is that with this movie, they did not spend most of their money on the budget. They spent it on the locations and the actors.
This is a movie that I liked a lot, but at the same time, I can't say it was good.
Yeah, I feel like this film is more of a cult film, like a lot of films are. But I will say this much though, whenever the second half happens and I actually started caring about the movie, there was legit moments where I actually cared about the characters because I saw the girl. Spoiler: I saw the girl get turned into a vampire, and like Mike can't even vouch for it. I legit was going, no, what? No, the girl, what? And I was freaking out. And then like David Tennant came in and was being all buddy-buddy with the main guy, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah, David Tennant coming in being a badass. And then the ending of the movie happened, and it's like, shit, this is setting up for a TV show.
That never happened. Before we go on to the ratings,
Yes, Michael.
Spag.
Oh, ooh. Ready, ladies and gentlemen, because today we're going to be doing Spag Facts, or AKA You Don't Know Spag. We got a couple of neat little factoids for you, and we're going to lift them off one by one so you can actually learn a little bit more about your movie. So, Spag Fact number 1. In the early stages of development, Heath Ledger was considered for the role of Jerry, but he passed away in January of 2008. Spag Fact number 2! Steven Spielberg made 2 major contributions to the film. The first one was an insert shot of the crucifix falling in a pool directly in front of the camera after Jerry attacks Ed Lee. The other one was Jerry's 4th stage makeup. When previewed, he said that it was not scary enough and insisted that the original concept of a shark-like jaw be put back. Spag Fact number 3! Colin Farrell said that he took the role of Jerry because he liked Craig Gillespie's work on Lars and the Real Girl. Spag Fact number 4. The car chase sequence was done in one continuous rotating shot. The location footage and the running motorcycle slammed into the car were later added. The 5th and the finale Spag Fact is that the second movie where Christopher Mintz-Plasse jumps down from a height and hurts his leg. Anyways, that has been Spag Facts for you all at home. I hope you learned a little bit more about your favorite movies or non-favorite movies. Please go look some other ones up if you want to. It's up to you. And I will see you for another episode of Spag Facts. On the next review I'm in, maybe. I think I'm being very generous to this goddamn movie, but I think I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
An 8?
Because, okay, like, I was gonna give it like a 7 or a 6, but I'm giving this movie an 8 because it pulled me back in with the David Tennant. And not only that, but it made me care about the characters. Not a lot of movies can do that. It's surprising, but I give this movie an 8 out of 10 just for doing that much. Not only that, but hey, producers of TV and stuff, get the fuck on a Fright Night TV show. Fright Nights in Vegas. There you go. I already made the title for you fuckers.
I didn't like the pacing. Some of the CGI was good. Some of it was eh.
I feel like this movie, like the only time we were confused was when the pacing started getting fucking crazy. But like near the end of the movie, me and you were intensely into this.
And the way the ending was like them at the Tennant's house and the mom by herself, I was thinking that they were gonna be like every other fucking horror movie with the monster and shit, and like say, oh wait, she's still a vampire, or oh wait, here a monster's gonna attack the mother at the end. I thought they were gonna pull some shit like that. Thank God they didn't. I cannot go 6 because it was a 6 in the first half.
And then it brought it up, buddy.
I'm going to give it like a 7.5. The pacing was just terrible. It got better at the end. It's just the first half, it just felt like it was just rushed and everything. But there were some good parts in the beginning that I really, really did enjoy, like his first interaction with Jerry when he was giving him the beers. I liked that part. And then pretty much everything from when they went back to Peter's house on was actually pretty decent. I mean, I'm probably giving this film more gratitude than it deserves, but I mean, we live in the same fucking area where everyone loves Roman Reigns and I fucking hate him. So there's that. We will be playing The Others. It's a film that's heavily been requested by one of my friend's girlfriends. She enjoys the movie, and I'm hoping it's an actual scary movie. There is a movie on the schedule I'm hoping that lets me give it a 9 out of 10, or at least a 10 out of 10, because we are playing The Conjuring 2 and Mirrors, and I have I am kind of psyched for the movie Mirrors. I'm hoping that from what I've heard, it's how good it is. It wows me, but at the same time, I have doubt. And then Saturday night will be American Psycho and Donnie Darko.
Oh, yes! Boy! Oh, I'm excited.
I'm just gonna end it there. I'll see you guys in the next review.